Hey.
Uh-oh. You have to. I am muted.
Yay!
Okay, take two.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. It's a Library Love Fest marketing team from HarperCollins, and the three of us are sitting side by side in a conference room.
It's like Hollywood Squares.
Hollywood Squares.
My shrimp-like posture. Did you see?
So we all have our laptops, but we're all speaking into Grace's. I know he finds endlessly fascinating. But anyway, I hope you can hear us. Let us know if you can. Let us know if you can't. Let us know if you need us to be louder or sotto voce. Which reminds me, before we get started, that we are going to do, which horrifies Grace, we're going to do an episode where we cook pasta from a book about pasta. I don't know. It's all I can think about. Whatever. Okay. Can everybody hear us? Are there comments or people like, yeah. Get out
They
the
said
books.
that's better. I think it's because we were muted at the beginning trying to do the background stuff. Do they want a little view of our big conference room? Is that interesting to them?
Yes, let's show that.
Okay. So when we do big meetings at HarperCollins, we did one this morning, our first back in person marketing. We come to this, and this is the big table.
And me and Lainey sat all the way in the back.
Get to the table. There we go. You could do laps in here.
I could do laps for the laptop.
And then we were sitting back there today for our first in-person hybrid marketing meeting. So that was kind of fun.
It was
since
my first
20
one ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
since we shut down. Yeah.
Hi. How come there's a delay. Okay.
They said, go Virginia, go.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, every Thursday now, our CEO sits here and a lot of people from the marketing department sit here in sales and publicity, and they tell us everything that's happening and how well our authors are doing and upcoming events. And it's really great. And it is cool to be back together. This is, like they said, the first time in 3 years. Is that right?
Yeah.
3 years. Wow. So yeah, baby steps, but here we are. And we're super jazzed to talk to you about some books. So I think one of the first things we wanted to bring to your attenzione is Library Journal's Day of Dialogue, which is taking place on October 26th. Sorry, October 26th. So I'm sure by now you all know about Day of Dialogue. What a great day it is. So many librarians attend this it's only virtual now, which, everything has its ups and its downs. And I think the upside of this is that, whereas before when it was in person only, obviously it was very contained as far as the number of people who could attend. And now that's just not the case. So they have so many authors, so many panels, some are concurrent. It's all recorded. So Grace, do you have the link?
Just sent it.
Okay, great. So that's the link to register for that. And it's, I think you can see the whole link of the programs. Is that there too, Grace? If
Yeah,
you click
it'll
on the word
be-
programs, you can see everything that they have lined up, which is really cool. So we have 7 authors who will be on panels. And we have, right now, we have Ace Atkins, who will be appearing in our booth. There are 3 breaks during the day. So the first break is 9 to 9:30. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. And so that's when the 3 of us are going to be doing a live book buzz in our booth. So books you haven't heard about, I think. For the most part, we're kind of trying to keep all these book buzzes fresh. So you're like, I know about this book. Tell me something I don't know. So that'll be from 9 to 9:30. And then we have Ace Atkins, who will be speaking about his book from 12 to 12:30. We're hoping to have one other author, TBD. And the third break will be us in our booth, just kind of bringing people around and showing them all the different things that Library Love Fest does. So and there's our booth designed by Miss Lainey Mays. Lainey, do you want to talk me through it?
Sure, yeah. We have a really fun group of authors. This is our new booth. We changed it up a bit last time, and this is a little different with some fall atmosphere, but we want it to be really warm and cozy. Come on in, stay a while. It's, the usual booth, so it has the chat thing that will pop up. But we have links to our Galley Gab Fest series, our Writers to Watch series, any social you would need, getting auto approved, all that stuff is in here, just what you can find on librarylovefest.com. But you also see on this lovely bookshelf that our lovely design team has made for us, it has all of our authors on every panel, and then those booth chats that Virginia just mentioned from at 9 and 12:30, that's in that red box in the center. So pretty much, yeah, any scheduling you need for us is here, and you can come during the start of any session and click and get from there. I don't know, do we want to go through the book
Yeah,
a bit?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. So very quickly, we won't spend a ton of time on these. Some of these books you've heard us talk about. So very quickly, Andrew Graff, who wrote True North. He is also the author of Raft of Stars, which was his debut novel, which was a lead read, which is that is our sales promotion here, where we all get behind one book and celebrate and amplify, because we just feel it's got that special something for a wide readership. And he's a terrific writer. He's sort of like Richard Russo, William Kent Kruger, stories about blue collar Americans trying to make their way forward in the world, where however best they can. So this one is also set in Wisconsin, as was his Raft of Stars. And it follows this married couple who have 3 kids. The marriage is on the brink. They don't have a ton of money. And whatever money they do have, the husband just used to buy a ramshackle rafting business in Wisconsin without telling his wife. And they want someone to turn it around, and likely to turn their marriage around too. That's all you need to know. It is beautiful. He is such a wonderful writer, and he has he's got the touch. He grew up fishing, hiking, and hunting in Wisconsin's North Woods, and he's just absolutely wonderful. So he will be on which panel is he on? Do we have the link up for the programs?
The
Survival.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Next.
And then we have Survivors of the Clotilda. This is by Hannah Durkin. If you are familiar with Barracoon, the Zora Neale Hurston book that we published a couple years ago, that was an amazing story of a man who was on the last slave ship to come to America, the Clotilda. It was illegal at the time, and everyone didn't really believe that that's what happened. And then they found, I think pretty recently, evidence that it was true. Not that they shouldn't have believed anyone, but that it was true. And this is, that was a wonderful narrative story of that man's journey. And this is kind of an immersive history of that ship. And it's a really powerful book. This is a really big nonfiction for us. And we are really excited. This one, I'm sure that panel of history authors is going to be insanely good.
And then we have Medgar and Merle, also on the history panel by Joy Ann Reid, who needs no introduction. And she's going to be talking about her newest book. And this is an account of the extraordinary lives of 2 civil rights pioneers, Medgar and Merle Evers, and the impact of Medgar's assassination in the civil rights movement and how it acted as a catalyst. And this is an incredibly important book. And I'm really excited for everyone to hear from Joyanne. She's phenomenal, and we're just really excited about this.
I think we need to just speak up a little bit more, because people ask about closed captioning. So
Okay,
reminder for myself as well, but I will speak louder.
Okay, The Great Divide. Christina Enriquez is the author of The Book of Unknown Americans, and she will be talking about her epic novel that shines a light on the people of Panama and how they were affected by the construction of the canal. And we hear a lot about the Panama Canal in school, but I don't think we ever hear about the people from Panama who were affected by it. So this book has a phenomenal cast of characters, and It's perfect for people who love stories of overlooked history.
Okay, we have Pay Dirt by Sarah Paretsky. So excited. We love Sarah Paretsky, and she is back again with another thriller mystery with her protagonist Vi Warshawski. And we love to hear from her because she is such a big library proponent. And we hope to do other things with Sarah as well. But I know that that panel is going to be crazy good as well. So this is a mystery that the detective uncovers. It has roots dating back to the Civil War. It's another edge of your seat thriller from Sarah Paretsky.
Poor dear, you all probably know at this point that I love a book that rips your heart out. So this is from Claire Oshetsky, who is a Penn Faulkner Award nominee, and they're going to be talking about this book. And it's about a young girl who is reckoning with the tragic loss of a childhood friend. And it's really a story about the power of the stories that we tell ourselves when we are grappling with hardships. And it's just really deeply affecting. And I think it was one of my favorite reads this year. So I'm really excited to hear from Claire, and you should all be too.
Okay, The Queen of Sugar Hill, a novel of Hattie McDaniel by Rashonda Tate. Exactly what you think it would be. This is historical fiction. And it is this fascinating portrait of Hattie McDaniel, one of Hollywood's most prolific, but woefully underappreciated stars, and the first Black person ever to win an Oscar for her role as Mammy in Gone with the Wind. So she's a terrific author, and she's done her research, and this is overdue. And I love that we have this book on our list.
What a beautiful cover too.
Look great.
Yeah.
And then Don't Let the Devil Ride. So those are the authors who are on panels. Again, the link is here for you to see. Just click on programs and you'll see where all the authors are. And then Ace Atkins, we're so excited to have him back at Harper. He's going to be in the booth from 12 to 12:30, talking about his book, potentially with another author, but for sure Ace Atkins will be there. And the book is called Don't Let the Devil Ride. It comes out in May. And the book is described as S.A. Cosby meets Don Winslow. It's a Memphis woman hires a PI to find her missing husband, only to discover that he is involved in a dangerous web of international intrigue, and she and her children are now at risk. I just want to read one quote to you from Megan Abbott, New York Times bestselling author. She says, with his boisterous and beguiling new novel, Don't Let the Devil Ride, Ace Atkins confirms his status as the poet laureate of Southern hustlers and ne'er-do-wells. Full of wily humor and epic bad behavior, this is an ebullient, rollicking ride you won't dare miss.
That was a great quote. Oh my God.
Yeah, I wish I wrote it. But anyway, he's fantastic. Very excited to have him back here. So please come and bring your questions for Ace Atkins in our booth at 12 o'clock.
Okay. Cool.
How's everybody doing? We good? Can you hear us? Everything cool?
Everyone's very excited for, and they're joining us during their lunch. Thank you for
Aw.
joining us.
What are you having?
They're excited for Queen of Sugar Hill. We got a shout out for the Sarah Paretsky and the Megan Murley. And then there was one other. Oh, Kim said it's about time Hattie McDaniel got a book, which I agree.
No kidding. Boy, she had a lot going on in her life. And so like I said, I'm really excited that we have this book on our list. It's historical fiction. It's not a biography. But I think that but as I said, the research is really great, really drilled down, and then you really get to see the backdrop of, everything that she went through. And anyway,
Well,
proud to be the publisher of that book.
Yeah. Monica said they're riveted, so I think we're good to continue.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Woo.
All right, so that's Day of Dialogue. Now, the link is there. So now, Lainey, you want to talk about Alma, and Grace, you'll talk about
Oh, French
What?
onion soup. Oh,
Delicious.
that's what we're having for lunch, Nicole. Thank you
Oh.
for sharing.
I had that
Um,
yogurt that it has the side cup with the stuff in it. And there's never, the spoon doesn't ever really fully fit in there. I don't scoop that blueberry stuff into the yogurt.
Yeah.
I don't want to stick my finger in there, but I'm like,
You're supposed to like smack
you
it.
are?
Yeah.
say
know
that,
that.
but it never like does it the right.
No, and then you're throwing things around, whatever.
Plus we're on an open floor plan, so everybody walking by just looks at me like I'm a baboon. So I'm like, all right,
I
whatever.
just waved at someone like, anyway, the
Yes.
romance.
Romance panel next week on the 17th. We are going to be speaking. Do you have that? Okay,
What do you
thank
need?
you. If not, I have it right here.
What do you
Let's see.
I don't have.
I have it. So we got together with a couple of other publishers and we're very excited to bring you a romance centric panel. This is October 17th, next Tuesday at 12:30 Eastern time. As you can see, we have a great list of authors. Our author Tess Bailey will be there talking about Fangirl Down. It's a sports and romance and a fun story behind it. And Dina from the Philadelphia Free Library is going to be our moderator. And if you know Dina, you know she's a big romance fan and always has really fun, smart things to say about all of these great reads. We had a run through, we were talking about all of the books that she's loving now too. And so you're in for a treat. She is going to be a great moderator. So the first part of it, you'll hear about 40 minutes of a panel, author speaking and answering some questions that Dina is posing to them. And then for the last 20 minutes, all of the publishers you see at the bottom, we're going to do a quick buzz for you and tell you about a couple of romance titles to look out for. So you have a lot of fun, romantic filled Tuesday to look forward to.
Sweet. And I will also be doing a webinar with Booklist. It's a thriller, mystery, true crime webinar. And it's not just us, it's Getting Press, Ocean View, Severn House, and Soho Crime. And we are going to be talking about some thrillers and mysteries and true crime that we haven't talked as much about. So you should tune in because it's going to be new stuff. I will be talking about the Ace Atkins, AJ Finn, and more. And I hope you come to that. I'm going to drop that in the chat as well. So Booklist, thriller and mystery webinar. Okay. Do you want to talk about bookmark?
Sure. So I don't know, can you share the things? So, or just the website actually.
Yeah, let me whip that
So
up.
Bookmarked, if you don't know, is a new website, a new passion project child of mine. And it is essentially a staff recommendation book talker shelf, but it's virtual. So it's all the fun things that I have sung to me or sang to me. And we just put it up. I try to do a couple of books a week, as much as I can read. And some people have said they bookmarked this on their Chrome tabs or whatever. So you can just see when new things are added. You can see newly added at the top and it links down to each of them at the bottom. But also we try to put up what's newly added on social, so you can see when there's new ads in there. A fun thing about this is that everything is color coded. So Grace, do you mind showing like,
I gotcha.
I don't know, click one and whatever your heart desires. Oh, it's a delay. That's why I was like, okay, it's not doing this.
Yeah.
So Rainbow Black, I know Grace loves that book too, and I am obsessed with it. But you can see the little blue cloud on the left. You can see the cloud is fiction, so you know it's fiction, and then the subcategory is the color of the background, and that is literary. And then if you click Lore of the Wilds, it will come down and you have obviously fiction, but it's also fantasy sci-fi crossover. It's a romantasy. So it's color coded. Hopefully that helps you find some fun things. And I don't know, I just love, one of my favorite things to do is go into a bookstore or a library and see what the staff recommendation shelf is, especially if it has book talk. I mean, not book talk, book talkers. There you go, shelf talkers. And because it's like 3 sentences of exactly what you need to know. And I essentially replicated that here. It's like, what do I need to know? And why should I be excited about it? Also, some of them have links to other fun things if we've interviewed the author, or if, like, for example, Laura of the Wilds, that cover was revealed on TikTok and it was crazy popular. So I put the link to that video and it's embedded in there. So it's just a really fun website, and it should hopefully give you some sunshine if you go to it that day.
It's fabulous.
It's also such a pretty site, like all the
No, we had a lot
colors.
of fun making it.
You know what, Lainey put a ton of work into this thing and it shows. It's just really readable, it's engaging, and it's just sort of like shining a light on books that, might just I don't know, they tickle her fancy.
Yeah, we have a lot of books, and we have a lot of things to cover a lot of those books, but some of them don't always, like, we don't always have all the time. And so it's nice when something sings to you that you can put it out there and, you give it its due. And these are ones that are like just gems of books that I don't want you to miss out on.
Gems.
Gems.
We used to do, some of you may remember, we used to do a program called Under the Radar, Over the Moon. And think of that, just sort of those, they're not the, they may sometimes be, but for the most part, they're not the automatically yours. They're not the ones that are going to be, they're just sort of these, perhaps a little under the radar, but there's just a lot of love for these books. And so this is all run by Lainey, and because she's always got these, what about this book? And then it's great. So anyway, back to Under the Radar, Over the Moon. We used to hyphenate it by calling it Yoram, which I always said would be funny because it sounds like it's a cream for some sort of terrible, embarrassing rash.
Well, I always said you should make it and call it like a salve for all your reading needs.
A salve for all your reading needs. Okay.
Yeah. I
All
mean,
right.
that
Oh,
might be a very expensive
yeah.
project.
Let's
But
see if we have a budget for that. All right. How's everybody doing? Is everybody still here? It's 2:25.
yeah, I think everybody's glad. Can we go back to Rainbow Black for 5 seconds?
Oh, we
Sure.
can always go back to Rainbow Black.
Because we have some excitement for it, and I feel like since we're here, Grace, go
Huh.
ahead. You can
Go
read what I
ahead.
have to say. Let's
Okay.
let Grace talk about it.
This book. So it's set in like the 90s during the Satanic Panic, which we all know was baloney. And essentially our main character, Lacey, is on her parents' hippy dippy, like sometimes I want to call it a farm, but it's like it's a daycare. And there are lots of animals there though. And her parents are arrested and accused of this horrible crime, and you see her struggling with that, but also coming to terms with her sexuality and dealing with her admiration of her older sister, who's so beautiful and popular, and she's just not that. And it's also jumps into the future where she is in her 20s, and I'm trying to like say this without spoiling it.
Okay.
It's just like this great courtroom drama and lesbian love story, and there are fugitives. It's awesome. You need to read it. Check out Lainey's eloquent review of it because I'm stuttering, but it's a great book.
Felt very grand, like it
Yeah.
could be in a movie. And at the end there, it's also so funny, and there's so many twists for it not to be like a mystery
Yeah.
book. At one point I was reading and I laughed out loud, and it's hard to make me do that sometimes in books, and I actually did. So I don't know, it's just
Yeah.
it's got everything, it's a lot packed into it, but it's a quick read.
It's like darkly funny in a way that is very clever, and there's a lot of nuance to the topics of like gender and sexuality, and it just like hit the nail on the head every single time. It reached my like top 5 favorite books ever, which I just can't
Ding, ding.
sing its praises enough. It's so good.
Anyway,
Then you really put me on the spot with that one.
No, but the
I
thing
love
is-
it.
I think the thing is, when we love a book so much, when we're just like bonkersville about a book, it's really hard to contain our glee, our excitement about it, not to sound goofy, but it's true. So, sometimes it's like you don't want to say too much. And then at the same time, it's like, oh my God, there's so much I want to tell you. But mostly what Grace is trying to say is you gotta read this.
Yeah, and this one's just like Lainey said, has a lot of really great twists. So it's like hard to talk about without like word vomiting about it because I'm just so excited. So
Word vomiting.
Word vomiting.
New book in our cookbook collection.
Uh,
All right.
should we do a little buzz?
Buzz, a buzz, a buzz, 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 a buzz, a buzz.
Yeah?
Yes.
All
I've
right,
been
cool.
singing all day.
I said earlier today that I want to make a CD of all the little songs Virginia makes up, but particularly with the Cher impressions.
Oh, God. It's just awful.
You're never gonna escape.
I can't stop. All right, so let's go to videotape. Let's go to some titles.
Yeah.
What's
So
first.
The Terrifying Realm of the Possible. This is by Brett Gelman, who is an acclaimed actor, writer, and comedian. You'd probably recognize him from Fleabag, Stranger Things, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Twin Peaks, and I could keep going, but we'd be sitting here all day. This is his literary debut, and what a phenomenal debut it is. It's a collection of odd, hilarious short stories, and they have 5 main characters who are in different phases of their lives. We have Abraham Amsterdam, who is a child, Mendel Freudenberg is a teenager, Jackie Cohen is the adult, Iris Below is a senior, and Z is dead. So the characters are dealing with these real human issues that I think is going to resonate with a lot of people: family, religion, death, sex, ethics, and they're searching for these answers. And I think this collection is going to make you consider what it means to be human, but using absurdity and humor. And I just wanted to call out some of my favorite short story chapter titles: Abraham and the Demon in His Head, The Time Mendel Freudenberg Sold Weed, Jackie's Death Trip, and Z Meets Satan. So those are some of my favorite titles. It's just such a hilarious book, and I think people are going to really enjoy it. And I really hope he writes more fiction. So the eGalley went up last week, so you should go check that out. And I have another one for you, Women by Chloe Caldwell. I cannot begin to explain how excited I am that we're reissuing this cult classic novella. She is the author of brutally honest and raw works, including I'll Tell You in Person, which is a collection of essays, The Red Zone, and her writing appears in the New York Times, The Cut, Vice, and so on. So Women was released in 2014 with this very limited print run, and people have been dying to get their hands on it, me included. And I was like scouring Amazon, and they are selling a new copy for $126 and a used one for $55. So I just think people are going to be very, very excited to get this when it comes out in June. So our narrator is unnamed, and she moves to this new city and follows her a woman named Finn, who is entirely unavailable. Finn's older, she's in a relationship, and it has pulled our narrator into this infatuating and messy situation. The yearning in this novella is literally palpable. And this is the first time our narrator has ever fallen in love with a woman, and Caldwell really explores the confusion and intensity that comes with learning more about yourself, particularly regarding your sexuality, with a lot of nuance and honesty. This book left me emotionally devastated. I finished it last night. I sat in utter silence for 15 minutes, and I was just trying to figure out how I was feeling. I emailed the editor M after work hours to let them know that they were right, and this book will make you cry. So we have this quote by Cheryl Strayed, the New York Times bestselling author of Tiny Beautiful Things and Wild. And she said, her prose has a reckless beauty that feels like magic. And a blurb by me in the form of a text that I sent to my friend last night. Dude, I don't know if I have ever felt this way after reading a book. I feel like I need at least 10 weeks to process the content and maybe 15 weeks to mourn the fact that I finished it and won't be able to experience the wave of emotions I felt while reading it for the first time. I can't even explain how good this was, and I'm really excited for people to read it. It's very short, 120-ish pages or so, and yeah, that is Women by Chloe Caldwell.
Wait, you should tell them what you found on Amazon.
How expensive it was? Yeah, $126 for a new copy and $55 for a used one. But in her essay collection, I'll Tell You in Person, she talked about how one of her friends texted her that it was going on eBay for like over $100 because it's been out of print for so long. So I'm just saying it's a good one.
It's crazy, but glad we have it with us.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Good
Okay,
opening.
Armistead Maupin, Tales of the City, Mona of the Manor. So do you guys remember that wonderful series on PBS with Olympia Dukakis? Oh my God, I love that so much. Anyway, and I love him. He's just absolutely wonderful. And so this is book 10 in Tales of the City. And it's coming out in March. And this is the 10th book in the series. It's a flashback. It takes you back to 1993 to fill in the gap that Armistead's readers have often asked, what happened to Mona after she married the Lord and moved to England? So here she is, and she's a total delight. Free-spirited, open-hearted, quick-witted as ever, and running this manor that she inherited after her husband's death. She's trying to keep the house on its feet, and it's got a leaky roof and electric bills that are being paid by temporary, guests who are charmed by the romance of this weekend in this big old drippy country house. And she's assisted by the house's handsome butler, her young gay friend named Wilfred, and who's half Aboriginal Australian, by her gorgeous girlfriend Poppy, who's the town's postmistress. And they're all a bit of a disaster. And this is just this whole bed and breakfast thing is just falling apart, but they make up for it with good cheer. And of course, Mona's fabulous cooking. So this is what happens to Mona. She's Mona of the Manor. Armistead Maupin, 10th book in the series. He came into the office a bunch of years ago. We had him in the video studio talking about one of his last publications. And he's just absolutely charming and warm and kind and funny. And he has spoken at ALA before. He spoke at the PLA luncheon, I think. And anyway, he's just delightful. And so we're hoping to have him on with his editor, which I think would be super cool. Just a conversation with his editor, talking about this latest installment in the Tales of the City book. So that's Mona of the Manor, and it goes on sale in March. And Go Lightly by Bridie Lee Kennedy. This goes on sale in April. And this is a debut novel, a bisexual rom-com with a love triangle. So think an Emily Henry character who's found herself in a Sally Rooney novel. It's got the best of both the rom-com and the Gen Z millennial literary fiction worlds. We've got a great review from a great blurb from Monica Heisey, author of Really Good, actually. And she said, Bridie skewers everyone equally, but always with empathy, warmth, and wit. Love that. It's a story of this 26-year-old woman, Ada, who is living in London as a cabaret performer and part-time temp. Who isn't? And she takes, she's just out having a great time for herself. She's having a great time at night. She falls for this woman, Sadie, and this guy, Stuart, at the same time. She doesn't see any reason why she can't pursue them both. She goes out and has fun at night and then regales her friends the next day about all the shenanigans that take place at night. But she's growing up and she's an adult, so she's got to start making some choices. It's very funny. It's a Holly Golightly for the age of DMs, reveling in her own youth and sexuality while reckoning with a serious case of main character syndrome. So that is Go Lightly. And I don't know what else can I tell you about that. A large portion of the book is text exchanges between Ada and Stuart as they navigate their relationship, which is mostly online. So there's a lot of social media throughout the book, and the conversations back and forth are pitch perfect. She knows what she's doing here, and it's really great. So that's Go Lightly, as in Holly Go Lightly. Okay.
All right. The riddles of the Sphinx. I feel like I have to say it very spookily. Is spookily a word? I don't know, but I made it up.
It's October. You can do anything.
So this is from Anna Shetman, and this is a she's an assistant professor among many other accolades. She was the Los Angeles Review of Books editor at large. But she also does bi-monthly crosswords for the New Yorker. And this is all about, she's the queen of crosswords. And so this is all about a memoir, but also the history of the crossword puzzle and really the unexpected, side of women's work and feminist protest within. So Anna did her first New York Times puzzle at 19, and she's spearheaded the New Yorker's popular crossword section. She works with a medium often criticized as, being exclusionary or elitist or out of touch, but she's one of the few women in the field of puzzle making, and she really wants to make every day more diverse in that field. It's really fascinating. Like I said, it's part memoir, part analysis of this history of the crossword and the overlooked women who have been central to its creation and evolution. There was a crossword craze in the 20s. And then there's also the role of the digital technology we use today. And she shares her own experience in this cross world. She analyzes the role of women in American culture who have changed the crossword puzzle. And I don't know, this is like it's kind of nerdy and fun and like just exactly everything that intrigues me. I think that it's a really interesting, I do my mini crossword from the New York Times every day. So I think it's really cool to see this women's point of view. Yeah.
All right. Is that it for our titles?
No?
Well,
What else?
One more.
Oh,
we do have one more. So this is Claire McHugh. She wrote A Most English Princess that it was about Queen Victoria. And then this is the Romanov Brides. So, I mean, you can imagine this is about the young Princess Alex of Hesse and future Alexandra, last Empress of Imperial Russia, and her sister, Princess Ella. So they decided to marry into the Romanov family and, changed history. So we're excited to have this beautiful historical fiction on our list. I think that cover is just
I love it.
insanely beautiful.
I kind of want to go there.
Well, you can go there with words, I know for sure, with the Romanov brides. But it's about these really spirited royal sisters.
Go on, lady.
Bringing a vivid life of Imperial Russia, all to that really, crazy end. Yeah, so that is by Claire McHugh.
all right. I just wanted to do oh my God, the lights just went out.
It's Halloween.
Wait, can they all see us still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there we
Maybe
go.
we look better in the dark. I don't know.
Answers.
So wait, so are we done? Because I do want to talk about sandwich for a second because we have a few more minutes.
Yeah. Talk about sandwich.
All right, but are we done?
Well, I have a question to ask at the end of our
Oh.
watchers, but let's talk about sandwich.
All right, so just for 1 second, I've mentioned it before, I'm gonna keep on talking about it till it goes on sale. So this book, we don't have a jacket for it, but maybe Grace, you can pull it up. I don't know if you can or not.
I'm pulling up an author photo.
Okay. There is, so Catherine Newman, who has a wonderful website, by the way, you should go there because she's just an amazing writer. And she's so funny. And she's got lots of fun articles, and in addition to her books that she's published, has written a new book called Sandwich, but her last book was called We All Want Impossible Things, which was, I think, a magical feat, because she took this very sad story about these two women who were friends for forever, and one of them was dying, and somehow she made that very real and oftentimes quite humorous without going over that line, which and I just think that that's really such a light touch that can do that, like a very just deftly handled. And I just love that book. And so I was super jazzed when I found out that we had another book by her, and it's not that. It's completely different. She does these families and friends situations so well, which is so my jam. And this one is called Sandwich, and it's about this family who have been going, this family's been going to this Cape Cod cottage, kind of, nothing ostentatious. It's kind of, it's just one of those regular old beach cottages for like 20 years. And they've been going there since the kids were really little. The kids are in their early 20s. And they are, the mom, it's really written from the point of view of the mother, and she's hilarious because she thinks back on when the kids were little and, lugging the kids and when they were babies and toddlers and sandy and sticky and like all this stuff that goes with it, but she loved it all. She loved it all. But now these kids are older and so naturally, their relationship is quite different. And the mom is also going through menopause. So she can be tightly wound when she's not having a wonderful time and appreciating all of it. But her son's girlfriend joins them for the trip, and something happens, and she learns something that kind of from the woman who kind of like sets her back on her heels and makes her remember back when she was much younger, the kids were younger, and it makes her look back on her life. But I can't tell you, I sit and read this book, and I'm just underlining. I'm just underlining because they're brilliant lines, and I think, how does she do this? How does she do this? Does she work with this line like all night, or does this just come from her brilliant, funny, poetic brain? Because it is at times poetic and funny and heartrending. It seems effortless.
It feels so easy to like. It just feels like it's not forced at all. I dipped into it. I'm a few chapters in, and she's just phenomenal.
Love her. I love this woman. I love the way she writes. Yes, her Facebook is Catherine with a C, Catherine Newman, NEWMAN writer.com. And she has such a great website, and you could just click away and just have a wonderful day reading the words of Catherine Newman.
I'm throwing it in the chat.
Oh, good.
Also, Vicky Nessing said We All Want Possible Things was so good. And Kim said, what a heartbreaking but beautiful book that was. So
Yeah.
everyone is very excited.
Raise your hand if you cried.
Yeah. Oh, so good. You can only cry so much. And I just feel like she struck such a respectful genius balance in that book. And this book there are heartwarming and sort of, there are moments there. It's not a laugh riot the entire time through, but it's definitely a sort of a wider read because it's not two best friends who are looking back at their lives and one's life is ebbing away. It's not that. It's a look back on life, and it's really wonderful.
Ooh.
Now what?
Yay.
Are we done?
I think we should ask everyone if you're dressing up for Halloween, what are you being? Anything exciting happening in the library for Halloween? Any spooky activities you like to do?
Spooky.
What do you guys? What about you guys?
I'm gonna dress up like somebody I don't like because it's a night for monsters.
V's coming dressed as me.
That is not. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
It's really fun.
Yeah, hey, I know, if you're gonna decorate your library, maybe you could take some pictures and send them to us. We'll post them on Library Love Fest, and we'll send you a book. We'll send you a spooky book. What do you think about that? Yes, or if you have a request for a particular book, we're happy to do that too. So why don't you do that? If you're going to decorate, honestly, you could put like a witch's cap on the desk, on the I don't know. Do whatever you want. Just have fun. And
You can also tag us in anything, and
yeah,
we'd love to see it. Or
Yeah.
videos. We have TikTok, remember?
oh God, we have to do TikTok. They're gonna make me do TikTok later.
We're filming.
If you have any questions you would like us to ask Virginia in our TikTok.
Apparently they're gonna ask me questions. I don't know. Haha, Virginia. So people writing in on Crowdcast, or the people writing in on Facebook?
both, but we don't have any Halloween thoughts yet, so that's okay. You can let us know if you're gonna decorate the library, if you have any costume ideas, we would love to hear that, so we can steal them. And yeah,
Beth Thomas wants you to dance, Virginia.
perfect. We'll use that. Thank
I
you.
wish I had my ukulele. Damn it.
Will you sing like Cher? Oh.
I did dance. Well, you sing like a, oh, I'll sing like a, all right. Oh, that's Cher when she can't think of the words. Imagine Cher not knowing the words to her songs after she sung them like 7 million times. Oh my God, I'd be like, I'll help you out. If I could turn back time, if I could turn back time. What you say? Oh, all right.
Oh my
God.
God.
I had
Virginia's
that
to be
album
one.
as a CD when I was like 10. My parents would play it in the car, and my dad, I just remember being like, she's gonna go to school and be like, you heard the hot new artist Cher, like no one, she's gonna think she discovered Cher. But I love that album so much.
Oh, it's the best.
What was
Best, best,
The
best.
first CD you ever owned?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It's a good question.
My first 45, for anybody out there who remembers 45s and a spindle, they don't know what I'm talking about. The Carpenters.
Oh,
Why do birds suddenly appear? I walked to the drugstore and bought that, and I was so excited. Ah,
My CD is probably Britney Spears. I was
Oh.
a big Britney Spears girl.
mine was Avril Lavigne's Let Go,
Nice.
2002.
But that all says a lot about each of us.
it absolutely- yeah.
Look, I love Avril Lavigne. Always.
Karen's voice too. Yes, well, listen, all that, I love, yeah, oh my God, I know. Oh, also, you know what? Is the Cher biography still coming out? Well, Lillian, thank you for asking. It is still, well, it's still in the pipeline. So, it does keep, well, it has moved a couple times. But that happens a lot, especially with celebrity books, because they, they do a ton of stuff. So Beth Thomas, John Denver.
Oh, I love John Denver.
My brother's a big fan.
Jennifer Winberry, I got 45s for my 11th birthday too. That's so weird. Okay. There's a video somewhere of Karen Carpenter. I know that she was the drummer, a drummer, but this, I posted it on my Facebook page. I'll try and find it. But oh my God, she was off the hook amazing. I mean, really, what a talented woman she was. I mean, unbelievable the way she was, this like drum solo, crazy great. Yes, so anyway, back to Cher. Yes, it is still in the pipeline, and it's, believe me, trust me.
You would hear about it if it was coming out. You would know.
Virginia would make t-shirts.
Oh my God, can't even wait. I can't wait. I'll be like, I'm
excited to.
Do you have a Halloween costume? Halloween plans?
No, but I think I'm gonna go to the dog parade.
Oh.
If anyone in New York knows, they didn't think it was gonna happen, but they saved it at Tompkins Square Park, I think.
Cool.
I've never been, but now that I have a dog, I'm like, maybe I'll take Fig. And my plan is, I don't know how execution will go, but I will. She's named because she looks like a Fig Newton, and I want to make her into a Fig Newton.
Aw, that'll be
So we'll see if it happens.
And you will post photos if it happens.
Yeah, if it happens. I don't know. I might get my arts and crafts out and it might not look like a Fig Newton. I don't know. We'll see.
Love it.
My friend and I are going as Princess Peach and Daisy.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys
Mario
make me laugh till my cheeks hurt. Well, thank you. I'm glad we make you laugh.
Here, can
because-
we put this thing into the, I
Yeah,
don't know if this is the video, but okay, I don't know about Super Mario. I don't know what someone's talking about. But here, I'm gonna put this, I don't even know if this is it, but I just put it in there. You can watch it later. It's that Karen Carpenter video. That may not be it, but anyway, you can find it. Listen, it's 2:52. It was so great to talk to everyone and to hear from everyone. Does she eat Fig Newtons? Beth wants to know.
I've never given her one. I should to see. She'd probably be in heaven. She loves anything that she's not supposed to have. Human food wise.
I Googled it. Apparently a small piece won't hurt your dog.
There you go. So I can't give it to her. I always have to do that too. Like I had like peanuts and was like, well, maybe she'll want one. And then I Googled it and now I'm scared that if a peanut falls on the floor, she'll die. So figs are not good for dogs, apparently. Okay, good to know.
GTK.
But she still kind of looks like one. So.
Oh my God, she's so cute. She's got the one ear up and the one ear down. She's adorable. Well, thanks for joining us all. This was super, super fun. And I don't know, there's something about the vibe of this room and the fact that we have this all to ourselves is kind of cool.
We could sit in a different seat for each book we present.
I feel like we were in a silly, goofy mood today,
Mm.
and it was fun.
Yeah. All right, so you have your calendars marked. We hope to see a lot of you at Day of Dialogue and hope you can attend the webinar, the thriller webinar and the romance, whatever it is. What is it? It's a
The-
buzz. It's not a
yeah.
webinar, really. right?
Yeah, romance panel with 4 authors and then a buzz after of romance titles.
Okay. All right,
Bye,
we're signing
y'all.
off. Take good care. Thank you all so much for coming. Bye, Beth, Casey, Jennifer, Tammy, Lillian. You're all wonderful. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Julie.